Okay.
Hold on.
Mr. Dominguez, I will be PMing you all the state calls.
Woof. Okay.
All right, so
Mr.
we are live. Let's first, everyone knows who we are, so there's no point to introduce ourselves, but we would like to, well, welcome everyone. And this will be relatively rapid, but, short and sweet, as they say. So, without further ado, Ben has a lot of important information.
About what? Oh, wait. Okay. So
organization of calls, etc.
So we're going to start with 6 p.m. Mr. Dominguez. I will be.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dominguez. Anyway, we are starting with coverage. Unfortunately, we do not have. Unfortunately, we do not have the house calls at the moment. I'm sorry to inform you about that. We will be releasing them at some point, or Ivor will, because I'm going to be busy. Anyway, we will have this house calls out for you. We will delete the fraud. But right now, we're focused on presidential, and that's what we're going to do now. Mr. Dominguez, I know this is super stressful, everybody. I'm as stressed as you are. Let's get this done. I'm tired. Okay?
Aren't we all?
We are so tired. Okay.
Yeah, and this is already nail biting enough. Adam not having Adam is a big deficit.
It is a huge problem. It is a big problem. And
yes,
we were able to manage
the presidential election, and there's additional work.
Mr. Dominguez.
Yep. All right, I will be
doing your best.
Yeah, right. So we have.
Just make sure you get the slides up.
Jesus Christ.
Do I have to send you the pictures, or will you just, Robert?
Mr. Dominguez, can you just, Robert, can you fix on Andrew's screen and just Andrew, your screen sharing,
you want me to
right?
Screen share?
Yeah, you screen share.
All right. Wait a minute. I'll come back in a second.
Okay. Anyway, let's get some very solitary discussion of the election between me and Ivor. Mr. Mestrovic?
All right. So basically, what we said is there are this 6 super close states, and when we approach that thinking, there is this one thing to bear in mind. If the polls were wrong either way, then those states aren't as important because they're just one of the states in the column of either campaign. So that's also going to be interesting to see. But Nevada, Colorado, Iowa, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia will be crucial. A lot of those states are in Hartland. A lot of those states are in Caesarea. We will see how will the demographics, the dynamics, the classes, the ethnicities, the religions, everything play out. This is a very complex election on that matter. There are national security, constitutional, foreign, as well as economic affairs being discussed a lot. So that's important to point out before we start with anything, but obviously I'm most intrigued into how will the constitutional arguments and divisions play out. So that's basically what interests me the most. In terms of dynamics, it's very exciting, and I don't think Ben and I are just like, I don't think that Ben and I are fully 100% aware of all of them at the very moment, exactly because it is quite overwhelming, especially with when you have to do the preferences. Anyway, Ben, what do you think?
This election has been extraordinarily contentious, on par with season 30.
But in a different way.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Mr. Dominguez.
In season 13, the incumbent was poised to win. This time, the incumbent party was poised to lose. And the question is, will former President Sanders become president once again? The voters will decide.
That is certainly a big question, Mr. Messervich.
Well, they
Um,
have decided.
They have quite the task in electing the next president, and it seems as though
And the
as
next
we're
House of
nearing the poll,
Representatives.
we have 2 minutes left to vote. It seems as though the public, although I mean it seems as though the public is making its choice. It has pretty much finalized the choice, and we just have to find out what that choice is. We shall see. This is a back-breaking election. I can tell you that much. It's been back-breaking for me. It's been
But above all, it is
yeah.
it is an election for the history books because there was this clear dissatisfaction with both candidates. Sorry, Roman. Sorry, Robert. But that's simply what the polls were saying. There was this change of dynamics every now and then. It seemed like the voters didn't know what they wanted, when they wanted it, and how they wanted it. It seemed like candidates were offering visions, policies, etc. But when you looked at the polling, it went up and down, up and down. It didn't have a certain large trend except this third party, Libertarian Party, and its nominee. But exactly that dynamic is quite weird for Mac, as there is always certain trajectory from the start till the end. We are right now not where we were 2 or 5 days ago, or 2 weeks ago.
All right.
Mr.
Tell me whatever you want.
Mr. Dominguez. Mr. Dominguez.
Until
let me just everybody know, we are going to do our 6 p.m. poll closings at 8 p.m. sharp, right when polls close. So you get the first results when polls close, and then in like 5-minute intervals, we're going to have the rest of the poll closings, and we're going to.
So basically, to every political junkie out there, you'll be fixed with a lot of results and a lot of discussions in a very short amount of time. So if you have a certain heart disease, take your treatment and then continue watching this.
I'm gonna have one because I see it's gonna be a nail biter, and I've been in one of those. So, well,
polls
have closed.
We are done. The election is over. It is time.
The voters have cast their ballots. There are no voting lines in Mexico. Sorry, there is no stay in line if you're in the line message, but that would be the message if we were in real life. But polls have closed. No one can vote now. It's now on us to, announce it.
All right. Music? I will put it.
Okay, you're going to coordinate that. Okay, good.
All right. All right, folks, it's time for the first projections of the night. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
In the first
Barack Obama 2008.
Indiana for Roman Thaddeus. This is the first electoral votes awarded of the night. 11 electoral votes go for Roman. Kentucky, not a big surprise. 8 electoral votes go for Roman. And in the state of Vermont, Robert Sanders is the projected winner. Very progressive, very democratic state, but Robert has won. From his region of the Northeast, this is the first projections we were able to make.
Okay. Those are the first projections.
All right.
Obviously very expected. Obviously very expected. Mr. Dominguez, do you have any commentary on those results?
Well, I think that was pretty expected. That aligns with, again, most of the typical elections, season 30. I mean, there's a map you could make of between season 28 and season 30, the states that Chase Stevens, David Davidson, Andrew Dominguez, I won. And you can see that it aligns with most of that trajectory at the moment. We cannot really compare season 31 because it was entirely a different race, but I think this aligns to make history, and it aligns to both political sides of the aisle.
But there is this third aisle being created, and that's the most important polling dynamic, according to the polling we will see with the results. But if we are looking at someone like Ross Perot right here, right now, could it be a long-term thing? Could it be just a protest vote? I'm not sure. I don't think anyone is. But that's a very interesting dynamic to look at. Also, a fun fact, there have been more votes for the House than the presidency. This is just like a fun fact while we move to 6:30 p.m. Poll closings. In other news, I'm
Mr.
very excited to
Mr.
see
I'm
that
sorry.
60 people are watching.
Mr. Mestrovich, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we are going to do the 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. poll closings together. So next, wait, Mr. Dominguez, don't just get the. I'm going to text you some more projections.
All right. I will be doing
Just stand
them.
by. Just stand by.
This
Right.
feels like a hostage crisis.
Pretty much. I mean, it does. I don't know.
Anyway, just a quick question to, well, both Robert and Andrew, since they're on the opposite ends of this election season. How do they feel about the elections, about the trends? Because I really want to know, what do they think? What are the trends like? Not what's the current number of votes cast for either of their campaigns, but like, what do they think are the trends? What do they feel? What do they sense?
I don't know if Robert's still here, but I'm gonna tell you. From the Thaddeus camp, we were optimistic throughout the week. Of course, Robert is a very tough opponent. He's won many elections. He already has a lot of experience in winning. So this was a formidable race. And I think it's going to be a nail biter. And I think it's going to be closer, though I expect Roman to win because I have hopes in our campaign. It's going to be closer than I thought, probably.
Excuse me. Mr. Dominguez, could you please check your PMs? We are going to have the 7:30 poll closings coming up soon. Hold on, I will.
In terms of dynamics, just as we have to update you, and I think this is right now a nice thing to do. There has been a significantly lower turnout in the province of Heartland, which is based off real results we are having. That's important to point out. And what seems to be the case is that the running mate, the idea of David Delaney as running mate, is playing up, playing up in the state of Pennsylvania and Virginia in the province of Caesarea. But we shall wait and see.
We're about to have our projections for the 7:30 and 7 o'clock p.m. poll closings. We will start with poll closing projections out of certain states. We're going to make the zippy. We're going to get right to states, which would be, going either way. And we will start pretty soon as Mr. Dominguez is ready.
All right, let me do this. I'm doing the slides currently, so this is going to be very, very interesting. Not because of the states we're going to call, but mainly because of the toss-ups that are going to close soon. Just so y'all know that.
I mean, everyone knows that because this is a very short period of time to make a lot of calls in 52 states plus District of Columbia, combined with the different demographics, different trends, different pollings, very different and differing numbers, of course. So yeah, we will see it.
Just
Uh,
Mr. Mestrovich, just to remind you, this is the 7 o'clock and 7:30. So this is not the 8 o'clock, which includes the District of Columbia. But I know what you're saying.
I said all 52 states plus District of Columbia. I was referring to the entire electoral college rather than just the poll closings at this hour. That's what I was saying. In the terms of trends, dynamics, what do you think, Ben? Except the election rush you received.
I always receive an election rush, and I can't say that I don't like it because I do. I think
this is how every addiction starts. FYI.
Okay.
All right. So the slides are ready.
Oh wait, Mr. Dominguez, can you just check your PMs? I have one more little thing to put on there.
Oh, all right. We will make that thing as well.
Yes, I'm going to do that right now. Okay. Hold on. Just give me one second.
Ben PMs.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Whenever I added it, whenever you guys are telling me to do it, I will share my screen.
That's basically whenever you can. So it's like ASAP requirement.
Oh, right. So I'm going to share my screen and let's go into the next results.
Yeah, you can just interrupt us because that's kind of the point right now because we have a limited number of time. Limited time.
Share my screen. Can y'all guys see it?
We can see it.
Yes, we can. State of South Carolina.
All right.
Here we go.
State of South Carolina, one of the first states to come in the South. You can see Roman Thaddeus aligning with previous results in elections. Roman has won it. The state of Georgia, first state of John Lampros, who supported Roman. Right now, we can call his 16 electoral votes for him. The state of West Virginia, a lot of coal miners in West Virginia, very working class demographic. This was the
white.
Yeah, exactly. That was the type of working class campaign Roman was trying to run in the heartland. Very interesting. Robert Sanders in Puerto Rico. All right, 7 electoral votes for the Democratic nominee. And look at this one. We all love Florida. We love that state. We love when it's called presidential elections. But right now, with 6% of the vote in, we can say Roman Thaddeus has a 2% lead. Very exciting in the state of Florida. The state of North Carolina, always a bellwether. It was listed as one of the trending swing states. But Roman Thaddeus leads by 4. You can see in the state of Ohio. Another very working class state right now. Robert Sanders is leading by 1%. This is a very close race. And in the state of Virginia, the state that had typically gone pretty conservative in MEC, we can see Robert Sanders leading, which might be a very good sign for his campaign. All right, so that was it. That's very extremely interesting. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Opinions. Ben and I have to think like with next steps. You can talk about your opinion, or we could add a certain Sanders active supporter, just to have a balance.
Yeah. Opinions. I think it's probably good for the Thaddeus campaign that Georgia's being called this early. However, being down in Ohio and the state of Virginia is not good because those are two crucial states. Those are two extraordinarily close states which have to break in order in Thaddeus's way in order for him to become president. That's just a must win.
Yeah, and another very interesting thing for Roman Thaddeus, a must win, is to win the military vote. We know we have near Dayton, Ohio. We have a base, a military base. We all know how Virginia is famous, with both Arlington, with Virginia Beach, with many other military infrastructure and units, and a lot of soldiers actually live there. So it will be interesting to see how it plays up, how it goes, what's actually happening with the military vote, because both campaigns want harsh and big cuts to the defense budget. And above all, David Delaney, as a Republican vice presidential nominee, could swing the Jewish vote to the Republicans, and such a dynamic could seriously hurt in Florida, where it's around 2 to 3% of population. But it won't swing New York because it's New York. But that's also going to be very interesting to watch, as well as the African American vote, because African Americans have more than one candidate now.
If I may interrupt you, in my screen, if everyone can see right now, here we have the call states. This is obviously yet another political map simulator. So we have Vermont with Puerto Rico's electoral votes at this moment, and these are the trends, the current results. These are not calls in the state of Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina, neither Florida. These are right now the calls. The solid states, as you can see,
these are basically the current trends right now. So you can poll the most conservative, the most leftist. You can poll the swingiest county or person, and whatever the result, that's going to be the tilt. So it's like a live map with a pinch of salt. So yeah, in the terms of what Ben was saying before, there are a lot of must wins. And speaking of having a tied must win result, Andrew should be an expert on that. So do you think that this election could be tied?
Well, that's a very interesting question, and I think it very well could, because we see lower turnout. Above all, because I don't think many are satisfied with the candidates. And if a tie is possible, right now I would say Robert has a higher chance of winning. But, well, we've not made any House projections so far. I will wait for Ben to give me the House results so that we can put in the screen.
We're not going to be doing House results tonight.
Yeah,
so.
we won't do the House results. I was just checking for the House fraud. I think I got it. That's number one. Ben can also check that. That's important for Ben to check as well, as I need to check the presidency results. But right now, it seems like the incumbent party of majority in the House of Representatives is being squeezed, to say at the very least, by just by the sheer popular vote numbers. I'm not talking about wins and losses. I'm just talking about the popular vote. There are drastic changes in District 9. I think that the incumbent is down by 30% from the last election. Democratic incumbent in District 8 up by what? 8% from the last election. Ethan Davis again down by the popular vote. Monique Henderson in such a competitive race just a week ago. Right now, one of the safest seats. Incumbent governor couldn't beat Sean Washington. This is also a big PV change. Another big PV change is in the District 4, where Democrats have a well-known candidate. This is also where the second and third preferences will count a lot. Same can be said about District 3, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, Colin Levine is experiencing a drop in his PV. Incumbent party in District 2, GOP, losing losing right now, but not by a majority, and their PV vote is down. Why did I say popular vote? Anyway, their PV is down. Raimundo Felix is, well, has a contested seat, so he's de facto down, but he is de facto up, because when you compare his number, his percentage, which is 66%, to the percentage of House Speaker Matthew Volson, which is 64%, you see that the contested race that Democratic chair had still produced him a better result than the incumbent GOP speaker. And those are the kinds of trends which are very interesting, because we were looking at this by polling, but we were also looking at the potential Thaddeus win, so it's very conflicting. It's along the lines of 2012. This is just the commentary on the House races in a very short number of time. Any call that we can make, we are not going to make it, especially not right now, not right here. Those are network calls and networks own liberties.
Mr. Dominguez, could you please prepare the projections?
I am doing exactly that.
Yeah, he's doing that well, I thought,
Okay.
Ben, what do you think of how could the House election play in the presidential one?
I think some people mentioned that the Republicans are overperforming in some races, although compared to polling. So that could suggest that some of the polling we saw was kind of skewed towards the Democrats. But then again, we're seeing Robert Sanders leading in states like Ohio, Virginia. That could.
And we're seeing drastic changes in District 2. District 2 was thought to be not close.
Yes, I think this is it's definitely a bad night for the Republicans, in terms of losing House seats. But then again, we have to see the presidential results, because this is a back-breaking election, and who's ever back breaks first, and it could be really either party.
Yeah, but you can still survive if your back breaks, and the beauty of this election is that we have so many competitive-ish states across the nation, and they're so diverse and dispersed that you can afford to lose one or two. In, let's say, Heartland, win in Caesarea, and Vermont, lose one or two in Caesarea, win in Vermont. So there is this. That's why the closest of closest states are like across the nation, from Nevada to Virginia. That's most of the nation, from coast to coast, almost. So that's also very interesting. We would. And to Speaker Wolfson, who is yelling at me that he has 66%, I would ask him to check the results.
All the fraud has been deleted, people. Or at least...
I think that it was deleted. I'm not too... Oh, yeah, right now it's updated. Answered 69. No jokes. Skipped 2. Yeah, the only 2 fraud votes. I think that Ben can even verify that right here, right now, because that's all I've got.
Yeah. So everybody.
Yeah, so basically the House results as they are, which you're seeing on the live results link, are what they are. They're de facto official. There will be a post explaining everything, and for the nail biting factor, it will help it will elaborate a bit more on the races where there is not a majority, which is district 3. District 3, district.
Excuse me, Mr. Dominguez, do we have those projections ready?
In a minute. All I need to do is to close call states.
Yep.
Yes. Mish Fox has won re-election.
Really?
Really? Yes.
That's interesting. How about D3?
District 3 and District 4 will be decided by the second and third preferences.
Oof, that's tough. So we can project Republicans have 3 seats in the House. At least.
What you can project, well, that's networks. That's totally up to the networks. We're not going to step into the House projections. We very rarely do. Uh, sorry, it's not Corona. Um, so yeah,
Mr.
that's
Dominguez, are
House.
we almost? Can you please expedite? We have to get this done quickly.
Yeah, in a minute. Too many states right now, folks. That's the issue, but I won't. All right, so this is going to be a very close state. What was the last state we called? I think Virginia. Yeah. All right, so moving on with more projections.
Is this 8 p.m.?
Yeah,
Better be.
what you just sent me.
Okay. All right, here we
Oh.
go. Everyone, mics off.
All right, so moving on with projections. Massachusetts, 1% in, we can project Robert Sanders will win as Democratic nominee. The District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes, not such of a big surprise, but Robert Sanders has won. Maryland, 10 electoral votes for the Democratic nominee. Rhode Island, not a big surprise either, 4 electoral votes for Robert Sanders, the former president. And New Jersey, another northeastern state that we can call right now. Polls closed there, 40 electoral votes for Robert Sanders. Robert Sanders also wins in Delaware. Illinois, this is a big one, 20 electoral votes, although it was pretty obvious that it would go to the Democrat, Robert Sanders. And this one is just epic. You will never see such a better thing. Harvey Long has just won all 4 electoral votes in Maine. And here we come with Mississippi, 6 electoral votes, 2% goes for Roman Thaddeus. Alabama, Deep South coming in right now, 9 electoral votes for Roman. Tennessee, the Republican wins again with 11 electoral votes. Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes go for Mr. Thaddeus. And Missouri, 10 electoral votes. This was supposed to be a somewhat close state, but still Mr. Thaddeus has been able to get it protected early, which is a good sign. This is very close. New Hampshire, Robert Sanders' home state. Wow, 49-45%. With 8% of the vote in, Robert Sanders has an edge. In this one, this is another state we all expect an election night, Pennsylvania. 20 electoral votes. This is a huge prize for whoever wins it. But right now it's 48-48. All right. That was quite some calls. I will put it in a minute, by the way, Ben. So, opinions.
Yeah, interesting, very interesting goals. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast in the role play, and it is what it is right now. I didn't think anyone would find the current results to be shocking. You know, there will be ups and downs in every campaign and their vote counting. We'll see how will the Labor vote go, by how much, for whom, why and where, and how will the Labor vote turn out? What will happen? Those are very interesting questions when we talk about the so-called classes, because we know that that's a strong suit of the Democratic Party. While it seems like this kind of unity ticket from the Republicans could steal a bit more of those votes, but we will see. Current Ohio results don't suggest that. So we'll see when we have Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois is already called, Indiana and Missouri are also, but they were relatively competitive. We'll see.
All right, so everyone, you can see here in my screen the current electoral count. Um, of course, we have states that have not been projected yet. I will remove them. Uh, but here is the electoral count right now. Roman with 92, Robert with 82, and Harvey with 4. We need more opinions, people. Get some. Hello? Also, I would like to mention that the Republicans have been campaigning for a red Michigan movement. Chairman Ethan Davis is taking this stance very strongly to make Michigan red and take it from the Democrats after many years of Democrat/progressive dominance. Chairman Davis has been campaigning a lot for Mr. Thaddeus lately, so that they can grasp more of that working class/populist vote they need to win in the Rust Belt. Certainly a project for the future in terms of the Republican Party leadership. And well, then I need more results. Come on. Oh
Do you
my God.
want a result in the very well famous House District 3 race? Because I've got the results there.
All right. D3.
Yes, House District 3. So according to the first preference polling, Colin Levine at 32, Easton Wilkins at 34. There were 3 write-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how each of those 3 candidates, each of those 3 individuals have voted. 2 have voted for Easton Wilkins as second preference, and 1 for Colin Levine, which makes Easton Wilkins representative-elect.
Mm-hmm.
Easton Wilkins is the winner. Wilkins winner. That's probably a bit more exciting, although you wouldn't recognize it by my voice. Sorry, it's 2:30 a.m. here. So yeah. That's that in House District 3. We will see in House District 4 in a short period of time.
All right. This is many more results coming in fast. So stick in the live stream because we're gonna have some, very big projections.
Mm-hmm.
So. Well, Libor, you've had quite an experience in your presidential election quite a while ago. What do you feel about the trends of this?
You're referring to season 15.
Yeah, I am.
Well, what I can say is that, well, it's 17 seasons ago. I feel kind of old just by saying that. So, how do I feel? Well, I mean, by every poll after the community said they regretted it, I don't regret the major decisions I've made in that campaign.
But I mean, comparing it today, bring that election, bring that nervous feeling.
I mean, if you want to see the Harvey Long dynamic, right now he is doing better. I remember I had 44% first preference. Trey had 46. Harvey had around 7, 8. According to the polling that we had before the election, according to the exit poll, that seems to be different. It seems that more people are dissatisfied with the current 2 main parties' candidates. So yeah, it seems like it's been ages ago, because it has been. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to compare it with, because we have a similar Libertarian Party candidate. We have obviously a different Democratic platform and a different Republican platform. But we'll see. We can compare the maps and see. We'll see. How do you feel about that, Andrew? Or as Ben says, Mr. Dominguez?
Well, I mean, I had a that was probably the most nervous election night I've been gone through, obviously. But well, as you know, I'm very close with Roman, so I feel very nervous for him as well tonight. I could compare it, but I think season 30, in my perspective, was way closer. And in terms of the trends, well, I mean, season 30 was wildly different from what was expected. And maybe that will happen in season 32. Who knows?
We will see. We will see. To all those in the live stream, please check the chat. In the terms of House District 4, we have a result there. I would invite everyone to listen very, very carefully. It's a congressional district, which is second largest in the nation by surface area, by land, actually. And it has Minnesota, Missouri, Iowa, Kansas, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska in it. It's a generally Republican congressional district when it comes to presidential elections. The question is, will it stay a Republican district when it comes to this House election? And what happened was that, if I am not mistaken, Kenneth Quinones, former Secretary of State, Speaker, Senator, a lot of things, got basically 43.5% of the vote, and Ricky Adams needs just one more vote to, actually win a majority. So the second preferences of those 5 write-in votes are of utmost importance. But if we use statistical meters, Adams is a bit more likely to win because he just needs one more vote. This is, I think this is nail-biting enough. So the results are as follows. Ricky Adams got 34 votes in the first round, an additional free second preference votes. Kenneth Quinones got 30 plus 2, meaning Ricky is the winner. Ricky has won re-election. Kenneth Quinones has lost this race. This was his former House seat when he was Speaker for a very long period of time. It's still his home district with the home state of Minnesota. So we'll see what will happen in 4 weeks' time. But right now, Ricky Adams is going back to DC as representative for 4 more weeks.
Well, this is certainly surprising, especially to many people that wanted this seat to go blue. So 5-4 majority for the Democrats right now.
That is a very close House, and we will have to see which president will deal with a divided House.
But the fact of the matter is
God.
the Democrats have flipped the House.
No, you're right, and that's probably a very good thing for them, considering they have a lot of ideas when it comes to hallmark issues like healthcare.
The healthcare battle as well as the constitutional battles will be very, very interesting to watch, and I honestly can't wait to see them. Anyway, how are the results and slides going on? Because
Dominguez.
I'm with,
Mr.
I'm
Dominguez.
making the
okay, so
email.
I don't know if this could be a popular demand, but if someone wants to know certain write-ins in certain races, I'm more than open to it.
Also, I'm doing the too close to call states, so hold your breath, people.
Anyway, so this is the House. According to these results, it's 5 Democrats, 4 Republicans. District 1, Felix Ray, Chair Democrat. Fox Mish, Republican, incumbent in District 2. District 3, Colin Levine loses re-election to Eastern former president, who recently moved to the district. Ricky Adams, incumbent Republican, wins against the very well-known former Speaker of the House, Kenneth Quinones, and former Secretary of State, Sean Washington, for the first time is going to DC as a representative elect against popular Jefferson Governor Bryson Pittman. And District 6, Monique Anderson in a rerun of the last week's special election is doing a lot better. She has won an outright majority against Chris Miller, who is very famous for his case against Tom Kirkman for the veto of the term limits. Amendment Ethan Davis, the current Republican chairman, is won an outright majority of 55%. Ashton Shabazz, former Heartland AG, a well-known figure, representative and senator, both former, is the loser of this race. In District 8, incumbent Whitey Christopher cruising into his re-election. Matthew Wilson, incumbent GOP speaker, right now at 67% of the vote. He has won his re-election as a Republican in District 9, New England. So that's the House. Tomorrow, yes, as I said in the Mac chat, tomorrow I'm going to do the classical pause, which Adam usually did, but he is there. So basically,
Folks. I wouldn't like to interrupt you, Igor, but I finished the
yeah.
slides.
Anyway, just to say, just to finish the sentence, like tomorrow, it's going to be certified. You know the results. You know who won. That's basically that.
All right, so let's go into the projections because we have many to make. We can start off by the state of Arkansas. The state of Arkansas has gone to Mr. Roman Thaddeus. New York, 29 electoral votes, a big Democratic state. Robert Sanders has won it. The state of Minnesota, Robert Sanders wins the state. State of Wyoming, 3 electoral votes for Roman Thaddeus. The state of Texas, for Roman Thaddeus, is a huge state, 38 electoral votes. His home state has gone, he has won it. Arizona, 11 electoral votes. The state of Fremont has gone for Roman. The state of it's part of Fremont. South Dakota, 3 electoral votes, and so goes south, so goes north. 3 electoral votes in North Dakota for Roman as well. Kansas, Representative Adams's home state has gone for Roman Thaddeus. Louisiana, 8 electoral votes go for Roman Thaddeus as well. Nebraska, these are 5 electoral votes. All of them have gone for Roman Thaddeus. And again, an epic call in New Mexico. The long effect has, well, taken effect. Harvey Long is the projected winner in New Mexico. North Carolina. Wait a minute. No. We're just going to go to Michigan. Robert Sanders right now is leading by 3%. The Republicans here won't be so happy about this. Colorado, this is major. Roman Thaddeus is leading by 0.5%. And by the way, I don't have that slide right now, but Mr. Thaddeus, hear me out, is winning in Wisconsin by 1%. Mr. Thaddeus, I repeat, is winning this Wisconsin by 1%. In Colorado, the lead is of 0.5 point. And this is a major projection. Roman Thaddeus has won the state of North Carolina. 57% of the vote in, and he has gotten 15 electoral votes is a huge win and indicates that the election is going to be very, very, very narrow until we know the winner. Well, opinions.
Opinion is that my home state of Colorado is once again very, very competitive. And if you want to draw a parallel with season 15, oh boy, that's different. But in the terms of dynamics, well, they're conflicting. North Carolina and Ohio, Virginia and Pennsylvania, they're quite conflicting at the very moment. And we will also be adding a new individual to this call, Malik Diaz. He is, well, obviously a Democrat, incumbent vice president, actually. So we are inviting him to provide commentary from the other side so that we have this kind of balance. We would like to welcome Mr. Diaz.
It is on.
All right. So, in terms, well, Andrew and Malik, you're from the basically opposite ends of MAC party affiliations and campaigns. So, Malik, Andrew, how do you comment right now on these results, these presidential and House results?
House results could have been better for the Democrats. They could have done better, but it is what it is. Democrats gain a majority in the House of Representatives. It's what they worked for. It's what they'll get. A lot of those races really, really close. Maybe next time we could probably put in a bit more effort in those races, and maybe we can flip them. Presidential, still too close to call. We got to wait to see what those states in the Midwest and Florida, and even Colorado, and even New Hampshire, what they have to say. But it's gonna be a very, very long night.
Andrew?
I agree with Malik here. I would like to congratulate, now that you're a Democrat, congratulations for the pickup of the House. Certainly very narrow lead for the Dems. This will force a lot of compromise and a bridge between both sides. And whoever is president will have to work to do that. And I think this is good because of a lot of partisanship and toxicity. There's a place in Congress where we have to discuss the ideas that will take place in the nation. And, well, that will require partisanship and kindness and at least some degree of political apologizing, negotiating. It's going to be very interesting to see MEC in this place again with two very competitive
As
parties
one
in the
meme
right.
says, oh shit, here we go again.
Oh,
Well, that's my take on it.
Yes.
it's interesting. I think Raymundo got more votes with an opponent than Matthew.
No. Right when we deleted fraud, that's no longer the case.
Okay,
He got
yeah.
45, and Matt got 46.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
So one vote
this-
difference. One vote difference. Yes.
A lot.
Let's speculate for a moment. Who do you think could be the next Speaker of the House? Roman Thaddeus earlier said it's up for grabs. He was usually a very talented
Democrats-
predictor.
The way I'm looking at it right now, it's going to be a pretty progressive Democratic House. You have Easton Wilkins, a former president, Sean Washington, Monique Best, and White DeChristopher. Pretty progressive members. And then you have Raymundo Felix, more of a liberal in the House of Representatives. I honestly think they're all going to side with each other, and I think they'll probably nominate either Monique Best or Raymundo Felix to be the next Speaker of the House. But I do think the Democratic caucus in the House of Representatives are going to stand united, and there will be a Democratic speaker.
Do you think that the rift that's right now happening between the Democrats as they move more to, according to your own words, to the left, and the Republicans, which are kind of like all over the place at the very moment, do you think that kind of rift will be sensed in the country?
It could be. If Robert Sanders wins this election, it's a pretty good night for the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. Almost every single progressive Democrat running for House won their election. Some of the moderates, they lost. One of the liberals, they lost. If Robert Sanders can win, it's going to be a pretty progressive House of Representatives. It's going to be a pretty progressive night for the Democratic Party and for the country. With progressives basically having the House of Representatives, even, Republican Matthew Bolson, who I would still believe is still pretty progressive, maybe like a progressive Republican, I think is what he'll call himself. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty progressive House of Representatives. If Robert's to win, it's going to be a progressive presidency.
Andrew, what is your take if you can multitask? I didn't want to
Well,
interrupt you if you're
here's
like
the thing.
doing slides.
I'm doing the slides right now,
Speakership,
but-
what's going to happen with the speakership, and is the country going to sense this kind of big rift
Well,
between
I
the
think-
Democrats and the Republicans?
I think the speakership will be decided by party. Not so sure yet. I don't want to force representatives into anything. I don't want to try to foresee who's going to be elected. But, and here's a big but. What I think concerns most Republicans at the moment is Medicare for all. I'm just going to leave it at that, and that's going to be a huge thing that we're going to talk about.
I think Medicare for all will be pushed in that. It definitely is going to be pushed in the House. It may pass the House. In the Senate, we'll see. That's it could, be passed during the lame duck session for the White House. But, if Roman's to win, I do think the Democrats will try to pass Medicare for all during the lame duck session. If not, if Robert wins, and they have all the time in the world, but we will see.
Well, until the next congressional elections.
All right, I'm ready to continue with projections.
All right, so everyone mute your
And
microphones,
before-
and Andrew, take it away.
All right, so before we continue, I'm going to show you what's the map looking like at the moment. Right now, this is the map we can talk about. These are the last least updates we've had. Harvey Long with 2 states having a pretty strong effect. So here we go again with some state calls. All right, so this is a very, 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 very interesting state to see MEC, the state of Iowa. 50-50 at the moment. It's tied with 5% of the vote in. But right now we got the state of Utah. 6 electoral votes for Republican nominee. I mean, that is a very strong Republican state. The state of Nevada, a 2% difference, but right now an edge for Roman Thaddeus. We can see that candidates are doing slightly worse because of the long effect. And here's where things start getting very interesting. Right now, the percentages are reversed. Harvey Long is supposed to lead Montana right now. He's leading 40-38. Harvey Long is leading the state of Montana. We could see a libertarian Montana. And I think this is quite an interesting election with Harvey in it. We can see how much of an emphasis the Libertarian Party made. And I hope, personally, yes, I identify as a libertarian. I hope this makes an impact in policies Congress passes, but maybe that's just me. So we called Utah. We call.
Yeah.
Call.
Mr. Dominguez, please check your PMs.
Yeah.
All right, so the Democratic Party has taken the House. That's basically the news of the hour. We all expected it to be very, very close this election, but this seems to be closer than what the polls have predicted. So even what we were expecting, people are interesting. So the Democratic Party has taken the House. Its incumbent leadership, if I'm not mistaken, is in the U.S. Congress. Senator Olaboda, Representative Felix. So it will be interesting to see that kind of dynamics. In terms of
Can I interrupt
Iowa,
you for a minute, Ivor?
what?
Woohoo! Here we go.
Who's
Just for a note to all of those watching and hearing, because not all people here know the Robert and Malik don't know the states that are being called, but these are two big ones. Going to call two very
Alaska for Diaz?
true. Let's see, but these are
Birthday party landslide.
two very contested states. Especially one of them, though. You can imagine which state it is. I let you think, and I let you guess. I'm making the slides right now, and as soon as we got them,
So everyone who has a guess, you can surely type it. But yeah, so
There's going to
after this, the deputy chairman of the Democrats, the vice chairman of the Democrats is going to tell his victory statement between our state calls. So after these two big calls, really important calls, I would say, and indicative calls, we will well have the Democrats take a victory lap.
mm-hmm. And this is how it looks like in the presidential map right now for reference. Before we make any projections, we'll see. Again, two very big states.
Look at the Rockies, yeah. But like these rocky dynamics, I don't think we ever saw such a Rocky Mountains dynamic. In Vermont, I don't think we have seen that in Mac history. Very, very diverse and very, very conflicting.
All right.
Yet the
Before we
trends
move
were
on,
for
Ivor, I'm going to call those states. Let's do
Here we
this.
go. Major projections.
Major, two extremely big, major big league projections. Take a look at this. Michigan, 16 electoral votes go for Robert Sanders in this one. And this is a state, a very contested state in all elections that has been hard fought by both campaigns, especially Vice President Patrick going in the last days of the campaign to this state. This is a Jeffersonian state. This is the Sunshine State. And Roman Thaddeus has won the Sunshine State of Florida. 89% in. Roman Thaddeus, I repeat, has won the Sunshine State of Florida. This is the peak of the night, folks. 89% of the vote in. I repeat, these 29 votes, electoral votes, go to Roman Thaddeus' column, and the Republicans are inching into 273. Oh my God. So these were some calls. I can see the Mac chat is floating right now.
Okay, so opinions, quick opinions, Andrew and Malik, and then Mayowa Labode is coming and giving the Democrats' victory statement.
Whoa, that was something. Florida. That's really good for the Republicans. That's really good for Roman. That's a good win. That's something the Republicans need. That's something the Democrats need. You know, like I said, this election's not over yet, but Robert's going to have to. Hold up. Let me see how this map would.
If you want to, I can screen share it.
I was making my own map. Robert's going to have to win almost every single battleground, including California, Oregon, and Washington, and he could win the election. He's going to have to win Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If he affords to lose, he can afford to lose. You know what? He can't afford to lose any of those. He's going to have to win Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, including Washington, Oregon, and California, not including Hawaii. But if I'm pretty sure Hawaii's safe Democratic. So if he wins that, he's still one short. So he's going to have to win either New Hampshire. He's going to have to win
His home
Wisconsin.
state.
He's going to have to
Yeah,
win that.
you mentioned Wisconsin. So, Andrew, what do you think?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to do the same as Malik is doing. Florida is always a call that tells us how the election is going. So I think this is major for the Thaddeus campaign. I could see some of them cheering and celebrating right now. So let's do this for the sake of the sake of the hypothetical, let's give Robert all of these very democratic states, right? Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii. Respecting that polls haven't closed, then it could surprise us, but it wouldn't. It would barely surpass 200 electoral votes. And after that, Robert Sanders needs to go after 70 more electoral votes, 60 more electoral votes. These come from Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia. So he needs to run the table. It could happen, yes. It could go to a tie as well.
Mr. Dominguez,
right
please.
An expert on dice says it could be a tie. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, Democrats are taking their victory leap, and here to announce it is the Democratic Vice Chairman and Senator, recently elected Senator Mayo Wellavoda.
Good evening. So I guess I'll just make a very short statement because I know you're all busy and eager to make projections on the big race. So this time, 2 weeks ago, we were eagerly awaiting whether we could win a single seat in Congress. Now we have taken a majority in the House. As Democrats, this is the beginning of something big. It is the beginning of people-focused policy, an end to the Republican hegemony, and the dawn of a new era. In this election campaign, we have fought on one coherent message, a new beginning. Our party has a broad coalition of politicians, from those more inclined to leftist beliefs, such as myself, to those persuaded by the third way, like President Coleman. Regardless of our political standpoints, we all understand the common pain our community and country is feeling at this moment. It is a firm belief of our party that as much political diversity as possible is beneficial, and we are delighted to fight for it. Indeed, we intend to fight for a plethora of policies over the next congressional session, from healthcare to criminal justice, from the environment from environment conservation to unrigging the economy. It is time for us to fight. This is just the beginning. However, we need to build on it, to build a brighter future tomorrow for our next generation. Seeing the results come in tonight, from Raimundo Felix defeating Adam Smith to shock wins such as Easton defeating Colin Levine and Sean defeating Bryson Pittman, it has been a delight to see so many Democratic wins. And this is a time for a new Congress, a Congress to fight for many, and a Congress to fight for a new policy. So thank you for giving us this opportunity, and we are delighted to fight for a new beginning.
All right, thank you. Very blarish of you, Mayo.
I will say
Okay.
that I will just say that these projections we're going to make soon, I'm making the slides right now, chill, are delighting as well. So yeah, let's just wait for a couple of major projections here and there. Robert is sending me the states right now. I mean, Ben. Let's see.
I gave you all the projections for 11 o'clock.
All right.
Plus, after that, we're going to have 3 major projections, which I gave you, Andrew.
All right. All right. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Oh my God. The gut feeling, Jesus Christ. For those
As
asking,
Andrew
I know some
experiencing
are asking. I know
Christian-
some people. Yeah, some people are asking. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to say that. But this is shocking. And
Shockers, shockers, hawkers. That's what elections are.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Anyway, the incumbent president will be joining us for a short period of time.
The king.
Well, we're a constitutional republic, so he's the president, not the king.
But I'm the king. Hi, it's I, King.
All right, so I would like to warmly welcome the incumbent president, who is not running for re-election, but backed former President Robert Sanders for his fourth term. He has not joined the call, though. Okay, so
Before we have the president speaking, I would like to make the projections that we are waiting for. Oh my god.
all
Hold
right,
on.
so please everyone mute. He's making projections,
Wait,
then we
Andrew.
can talk.
Andrew, these are the 11 p.m. projections, not the projections afterward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the 11 p.m. projection, sorry, there was a mistake. 11 p.m. projections, then we have the president speaking, and after we're having these major projections.
All right, the president is tuning in to us, so you should stick into the live stream. And we have major projections. That's the music you want to hear, right? That's the music you want to hear, absolutely, because we have many projections and some bellwethers, and some states are gonna shock you. So this is not a shocker, really. We got very progressive, very democratic. California has gone for Robert Sanders. This is the state that put Tom Kirkland last time in passing to 73. Washington, 4% in right now, but Robert Sanders, we can call him as the winner. The seat of Oregon, somewhat close, you could say, but still not enough. And Robert Sanders has won a very democratic state. Hawaii, another extremely progressive state which Robert Sanders has won. And this projection. In Virginia, we can say that the apparent winner is Roman Thaddeus. 30 electoral votes going to his cause. This is another major projection. Wisconsin goes for Robert Sanders. Another great projection. Montana goes for Harvey Long, the Libertarian. And Idaho goes for Harvey Long as well. 4 electoral votes. And sorry, I was mistake there. And, well, Harvey Long has some very good hopes for. Can he reach the
And there is also the writing campaign, but it's not in the top 2.
Wow. Harvey Long with 47% of the vote. He has an edge right now. So takes on this, folks, because this is really shocking.
And the first take is coming from the incumbent president of the United States.
Thanks, Ivor. I just want to say that tonight, the House elections, they were always expected to be close, and I am overjoyed that we have a Democratic majority in the House, one that will fight for change and one that will bring a new era of progressive and socially a new era of progressive social and economic policies that will fight for the best interests of the middle class, those who want to join it. And that's something that I'm really passionate about. I'm really excited that we have the opportunity to implement so much change. I know that there's so many members of our new caucus that have been trying to get into Congress for so long, that have so many ideas, and it's so great that they now get to have a say in the governance of this country, like Sean Washington. So I want to congratulate all of them. It's a great night. I didn't vote for many of you, but congratulations to the Republicans for those of you who won your races. I hope you'll work in the best interest of your citizens. But in terms of the presidential results, I think it's as I expected. I expected this election to be close-ish, but I do think that Roman Thaddeus will end up being the next president, and I think these results are creating a trend line that would confirm that prediction so far.
Well, I will just say, Tom, to add to your last sentence there, let's just wait.
Excuse me, Mr. Dominguez.
Yeah, we're having
breaking news report. This is a breaking news report. We are now saying that in the state of Iowa, the count is separated by only 124 votes. I repeat, 124 votes.
And a quick historic note, folks. In season 31, the incumbent president and vice president may remember what happened was basically, Iowa
took its time.
Very close.
Yeah.
Very
you go and say
ever got.
We'll
I mean, just before I said it looked like it was Roman Thaddeus was doing quite well, and then Ben goes and hits something like that. So nothing's predictable in there. So, but yeah. Anyway,
Hey, Alaska.
Iowa's Iowa.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm also
It
very
seems
disappointed
like
that
Iowa
Malik
is like the
is better in
Florida.
Alaska.
Wait, say that again,
The
Tom. Say that
Florida
again.
of Mike is kind of Iowa.
I said I'm
Alright.
disappointed in you, Malik. You weren't able to do better in Alaska.
No, Alaska's not even down counting their votes. All my writing votes. It takes time. Some people probably spelled my name wrong. They
You're
probably
not
wrote
listening
what he.
to
All right. Question for
Melody is.
Mr. Polyfile, so we can update who would be leading. Send me PMs so that there's some drama effect.
There's a huge drama effect. Trust me.
All right.
Drama.
Oh,
There's
oh,
always drama.
oh
This
my
isn't
God.
Mac.
Oh my God. Oh.
And
Don't
these
mention that
kind of
word.
reactions. Yes, these
Oh.
kind of reactions. Ben, please check your PMs. Sorry, the commission chat.
I will. Well, okay. I will let it then. Let's see. I hope this huge drama effect is not that. Just gonna say that.
So yeah, there is this big drama. So yeah, this will be. So yeah, this is wow. Well, well, yeah. So as we said, those 6 crucial states, if it's quite close, they're deciding it. Right now, Virginia, Thaddeus, Nevada, Thaddeus. 2 out of 6. We'll see.
Whoa, Mr. Mestrovich, you may have slipped a little.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna make.
No, wait.
the,
What? I think I'm. Never mind.
We're going to the major projections now.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are making projections now. Everyone on mute.
Shocking projections. This is a minor one. With all respect to the people of the Pacific Islands, 3 electoral votes going for Robert Sanders in this one of the biggest bellwethers in presidential election history, and gives me some season 30 vibes. Well, this one, the state of Ohio has gone for Roman Thaddeus. The state of Nevada has gone for Roman Thaddeus. And Iowa is separated by around 100 votes. But there's one more state. We count a lot of big states. This was shocking, but there's one more state that we should call. Sorry, because I slipped a couple slides. The state of Pennsylvania has gone for Robert Sanders. This was what I was referring to. 20 electoral votes go for the Sanders campaign, and this is really shocking to see. With all of the states we were just able to call, I just can't. This yeah, this leaves me speechless.
So the takes on results, folks.
Wait, what happened? My internet cut out. Who
Well,
won
let's
what?
just say that there's only.
Well,
Roman won Ohio and Nevada, and Robert won Pennsylvania and the Pacific Islands.
and basically the remaining swing state is Colorado, and well, yeah.
New Hampshire.
And Iowa.
Wait, sorry, what
No.
was cutting out?
New Hampshire's then.
New Hampshire has been called, yes.
Shut up,
Oh my
Andrew.
God.
Shut up, Andrew.
Okay, I will shut up.
Okay,
Julie?
so yeah, these are very interesting reactions. So, President Kirkman, how do you think you have played in this election? How do you think this kind of factor, President Kirkman supports Robert Sanders, President Kirkman, a devout Democrat, played in the country. Nothing. Okay.
Mr. Kirkman. Mr. Kirkman. Andrew,
Yeah.
Andrew PMs.
Yes, Ben.
Oh yeah. So President Kirkman,
Pennsylvania
what
went to
we were
Roberts.
asking you,
That's what happens.
what we were asking you is, how do you think how you played as a factor in this election?
Well, I mean, I don't really think that I played too much as a factor, really. I mean, I did endorse Robert, but I'll be honest, I wasn't actively campaigning for him in DMs or PMs. I wasn't actively trying to get people to vote for him. And I didn't do that because of a lack of enthusiasm for Robert. It was just, I figured that I wanted to take a step back from this election after it's all said and done, I would like to do a peaceful transition of power and ensure that the incoming president, regardless of what party they're from, has the best opportunity to take over from me and my White House with all the knowledge and all the all the resources that they need to run the most successful administration possible. And so I wanted to take a bit of a step back. So yes, I did do a rally for Robert, and I don't regret that. But I do want to make sure that whoever wins has the best opportunity to succeed in the goal.
All right. Before the president goes on and anyone in the board wants to go on, we have two big calls. Well, we know the
Very big calls.
Oof.
They're not.
The drama is going through everyone's
Wait, Andrew,
blog
did you see
now.
my latest PM?
Wait a minute.
Yes, I heard you, Ivor. I know. Just check my latest PM.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Just
We're going to delay those projections so that I can make that slide. Okay. And no, it's not the presidential projection slide. No, it's another thing. Before any one of you starts asking, keep commenting. Oh, sorry. Go on. Jesus. Oof.
So, just for the history books, Iowa and Colorado, once again, very, very competitive. And to all those people, and just a quick note to all those people to the Michigan Red Movement, seems like labor and African Americans got you. And this feeling that is going to the House, we shall wait. We shall see. You know who are the representative elects. Please don't spam their PMs. Please. Please wait for the results. Please wait for the results, because
I think
representative elects need a bit of respect. Just like let everyone find out the results, please. That's an official mod message, because we know how it is to get our inboxes spammed.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, Mr. Dominguez, do you have the most recent slide up for us to do? Not the major slide, but the...
Yeah, I'm just making another slide with an extra detail.
Yes, I know.
Will take somewhat of a time, so keep commenting on these races, because it's really what we are seeing. It's very interesting, in my opinion. Very close election. Seems like it will be decided by a couple votes. If it's not, well,
it may be decided by even less than 100,000 votes this election. It is extraordinary. I'm looking at the popular vote
In
now.
multiple states.
Yeah. In multiple states, this election has been one of the closest we've seen since season 30. It was an extraordinarily close election. We have,
or as many people think, as close as season 30.
Jesus Christ. I don't want to see them
Is
accept.
my Lord and Savior. Anyway, we will see. I mean, we shall wait. We shall see. And yeah.
Is Robert alive?
Sort of.
Yes, kind of.
Robert is streaming while also not being here. So
All right.
All right, I'm sure this is quite a time for him and his campaign at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I know
I just
both
wonder
of
what will be the take tomorrow. How will people feel after these results? Because, oh boy, are they interesting.
Because I mean, I know Andrew, Ivor, Malik, and well, Robert's not here, but I can also speak to this. Being in a presidential election, especially if it's close, well, Malik wouldn't know that feeling, but
Yeah, sorry.
especially if it's close, it's really nerve wracking, especially watching the results trickle in as they get projected by the mods. I remember, I'm sure Andrew would be feeling the same way, but in season 30, my feet were shaking and my hands were shaking as I was watching the results come in to see who was going to win what state, and it was pretty nerve wracking. So, yeah.
Oh.
So don't spam PM Robert or Roman because it's really annoying and we want to yell at you when it happens.
The Senate, I mean, if it's a tie, the Senate can, since there's no incoming Senate, the Senate can vote at any time. So for the vice president, you know,
the House will have to wait till Wednesday.
Remember,
Whereas
after season 30,
we're already discussing this, aren't we? We're already discussing.
De facto,
after season 30,
constitutionally
the Senate
speaking, you have to wait for a new session of Congress, which starts with the new House. So de facto, Senate could only vote on Wednesday or after Wednesday before the.
no,
I believe according to precedent, the Senate voted me as vice president before the House was sworn in season 30.
Yes, before, but de facto, that wouldn't necessarily be a correct legal practice.
Well,
it's happened twice.
I was never vice president. Well, actually,
I think you got elected vice president multiple times, Tom.
Yeah.
Season 15,
I think I hold the record for that one.
29, 30, 24.
All right, I'm
I
ready.
think that you're like the most long.
I've been elected vice president 4 times.
People.
DFDR of VPs.
This is gonna be
Huge.
a couple of protections right now. So I'm waiting for the music, but before we do that, again, I'm going to share. There you go.
Everyone mute.
All right. Here's the map right now, and we're gonna go with a couple of protections. The state of Alaska.
Okay.
It's on for Harvey Long. I know Malik wanted to win the race right there. He was running for Alaska. New Hampshire, Robert's home state. He carries it 4 electoral votes. Pretty close state, though not major in terms of votes themselves. And Colorado. Roman Thaddeus is leading in Colorado by 0.9% of the vote. So there we expect to have an extremely close election. I'm very excited to show y'all the final results. Well, somewhat excited. Anyway.
Well, this is giving me season 30 flashbacks.
Just
a bit of PTSD.
FYI. Yeah, I mean, being in politics and close elections is basically like being in war. I mean, basically being in politics is like being in war. But speaking of the polls and the exit poll and the official vote, actually, results, Colorado is closer than what it was expected to be. So that's an interesting dynamic.
Roman's gonna have to win Iowa and Colorado to win the election. If Robert wins both of them, if both those states, it goes to the House.
Yeah, so basically, only way Roman can ensure he is elected president is by winning both Iowa and Colorado, while if Sanders wins both of them, it goes to the House. So right now...
So Robert cannot be elected outright as president at this point.
Correct, yes, correct.
Impossible.
That's what I'm saying. So right now, it's more likely for House to vote on it than for the actual... for the people to...
I have a question.
I will make the prediction in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
can we
so
all put a
what's
prediction
your
on how many votes each candidate will win by or what happens?
The
Okay,
election
so do
will
you
be
want to
called-
bet on
Okay,
it?
I'll go first. I think Roman won by 1 vote.
Malik?
I think it's a tie.
Andrew. Well, no, never mind. Never mind, Andrew. So everyone who wants to bet, you can bet with the president and vice president. And I didn't know
Excuse
what
me,
you're
can I just
betting.
interject, Mr. Mestrovich? This is a
Mhm.
breaking. This is a Mr. Andrew. Can you please get your slides ready?
All
We have a
right.
breaking news alert. This is a moment which will shape the nation's history. This is a moment which will loom in
Blizzard's
the
about to be in here.
caverns, in the caverns of mech history for years to come. Please
You're right,
stand
Ben.
by.
Alaska, too close to call.
Can you? Okay.
All right.
Please stand by for a major projection right now.
Or
Folks,
sit down, please.
breaking news in Mech CBS, along with the moderators. Roman Thaddeus has won the state of Iowa. 6 electoral votes, and that's not the only one. People, make your bets. Roman Thaddeus has won the state of Colorado. I repeat, Roman Thaddeus has won Colorado, making him the next president of the United States. With 277 electoral votes, Roman Thaddeus, the Republican, has won the presidency with David Delaney as his vice president. Here's the map for all of you to see. This is the final result. Roman Thaddeus is the next president of the United States. This is shocking news, and after left-wing monopolies of the presidency since season 28, Republicans, after surging in the season 30 midterms, have finally got the office they were looking for. Roman will be the next president. The former senator of Jefferson, the man from Texas, has won the election.
Well, congratulations to Mr.
Congratulations to both
Thaddeus and
candidates.
Mr. Delaney.
Mhm.
So,
And congratulations to
Ben,
both
check
candidates. And Harvey. Harvey, I think, was the biggest winner this election.
no doubt about that. All right, so people were making bets. So Malik, you obviously lost.
Shut up.
Yeah, I mean,
I
birthday
won.
party did good. Yes, Roman won by 1 vote, and that
I
happened
won.
after the first preferences. Ben can correct me on this, but what seems to be the case is that yes, of course, we had first to eliminate the write-ins and allocate their votes, then the Harvey votes, and then
Malik, you fool.
and yeah,
the two
well, it's
emojis.
interesting. So second and third preferences actually decided this election. So seems like the system is working. And congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to all those who didn't win. They ran strong campaigns. And yes, 1 vote. Yes, your vote really matters. 1 vote difference.
This election, let me just say something about this presidential election. This presidential election is one of the closest in mech history. The winner of this, we will have to, first of all, congratulations to Mr. President-elect Roman Thaddeus. It is certainly an achievement to win a presidential election in this community, no less in a hard-fought campaign, and only winning by 1 vote is something which is incredibly unlikely, but also incredibly momentous. So I would like to congratulate Mr. Thaddeus, but also give my condolences. Well, not my condolences, but my congratulations to Mr. Robert Sanders for running a great campaign. Both of you were terrific candidates, and I would just congratulate both of you on your performances, even though only one of you asked to win. And I know that the loss is really a hard loss, and the win is a really slim win, but just know that you both ran great campaigns, and you both made MEC a very interesting place to be.
Yes,
If I could
thank you
just-
for that. And also, let me just say this, since I think I have quite enough experience to say this. Thank you for a very clean campaign. This has been a relatively clean campaign when it comes to personal drama and toxicity, and I want to congratulate them on that because it was lower than usual, and that's a huge achievement for Mac. It's really important to point it out. Of course, there was drama. Of course, there was personal stuff, but this was lower than usual and, well, a lot lower than season 30. So congratulations to everyone for that. This is a huge achievement.
I will be
and-
doing a Joe Biden next season.
Okay.
This
well,
is
if
an
I can just say,
unexpected
Okay,
announcement.
we have the president-elect.
We've got yes. We also have the Libertarian candidate just to comment on his performance for a brief amount of time. Please be brief, and everyone welcome the runner-up to the runner-up, Harvey Long, the Libertarian nominee.
Hello guys. This election result was pretty shocking actually. The day before the election, I was kind of expecting to get only Maine and New Mexico. Seeing me win Montana, Idaho, and Alaska, that kind of makes me really speechless, honestly. I can't wait to see what the popular vote totals are like. But I guess based off this map, I really overperformed my own expectations, which is usually pretty high. But this election was pretty fun, and to Robert Sanders, I thank him for being a part of this campaign. Same thing with Roman Thaddeus, which won. So congratulations to him. But this election was a lot of fun, actually. This was a lot funner than the previous elections I've been in. So yeah, and also have to thank Nick Silver. He was a pretty good VP candidate. Being with him in the campaign trail was a lot of fun. And I hope that he is doing the best after this election.
if I could
All
just
right,
quickly say,
All right, thank you very much. Sure, the incumbent president, your last 2 weeks.
yeah. Well, I just want to congratulate the president-elect, Mr. Roman Thaddeus, and Vice President-elect David Delaney on their victory tonight. It was a close one. I know how they feel to be in a close one. I remember in season 24 when Adam Evans won by 1 vote, though that one took a little bit longer to play out. But I just want to congratulate them on their victory, and I also want to congratulate Robert Sanders and Brett Patrick on their absolutely stunning and amazing campaign they ran. If you just think even a week ago, it was basically a inevitability that Roman would win the election and win it big. They had their eyes set on New York. They had their eyes set on winning in a landslide, and the campaign that Robert and Brett ran, as well as so many other members of the Democratic Party and other supporters of Robert, was able to really narrow the gap and make this one hell of a fight, as you can see. It went down to the wire, truly. But I look forward to inviting the president-elect and the vice president-elect to the White House to meet with me and other members of the cabinet and the administration to discuss the transition and the peaceful transition of power, which will occur over the next 2 weeks. In my final 2 weeks, I may be in my final 2 weeks, but I still have an agenda. I still have a few things to get done. I'm sure Ivor knows about a couple of those that we're working on. But I look forward to it, and I hope that we can have some real change in my last 2 weeks and pass a few bits of legislation that will really benefit the people of the United States. But yeah, that's all I have to say on the matter. Congratulations to the president and the vice president.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. President. Just before we continue, I would like everyone to just meet for a brief amount of time because I'm going to read the vote totals, as Ben and I have agreed. So first preference was like this: 2 write-in votes, 10 votes for the Libertarian ticket, 27 for the Republican one, and 28 for the Democratic one. When we turn that into percentages, 3% write-ins, 15% Libertarian, 40% Republican, 42% Democrats. When it came to second preferences for the write-ins, equally distributed. When it came to the second preferences of the Libertarian ticket, which was the deciding block in this election, they have, by a majority vote, went to Roman Thaddeus, 6-4, and that's how 27 plus 1 plus 6 got Roman to that bare majority of 1. Total votes cast is 67, 5 fraud. So I would like to thank, well, everyone who participated, who watched, who listened. Roman won by 1 vote. 67 people, 67 legitimate voters have exercised their duty and elected the next president of the United States, which will be Roman Thaddeus. Inauguration is in 2 weeks, and I like to wish him luck, and I will be swearing him in. That's it. So if anyone has to say anything else, maybe
First
uh,
Republican elected president since Malik Diaz in season 20.
yes, we remember that, Malik, very vividly. Anyway, the winning campaign, Andrew Dominguez, you were very involved in it. Maybe you want to comment.
I would just like to say this is a very emotional and vivid moment for me and many in the people of MEC. We were waiting for this election to finally happen. Personally, I've been through losses, two consecutive, one in the primary, another one in the general, one of them in a tie. I wished I was as lucky as Roman was, but I'm happy. I really, really am. He was my VP that time, and he's taking the torch. He announced 3 weeks ago. He he had a vice president who was heavily contested by many. By the way, he received a lot of threats from, well, not threats in that terms, but politically, and he pulled it off. This is a history that should be remembered. This is very wow. I can't believe it. I can't believe that we did it. We finally got what we wanted, which was the White House, the presidency. And I'm glad for the Republican Party, which has been quite, well, not good in House elections. Although we did better than many expected. But hey, we have the president-elect here, Roman. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, yes, we have invited the current president-elect, relatively soon to be president, Roman Thaddeus, from the state, who is, hypothetically speaking, calling us from his headquarters in Texas. So, Roman, take it away.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Take it away. I said take it away.
Oh, thank
You're
you,
mine.
thank you. There isn't really much to say. I'll be putting out my victory speech tomorrow. I think the only thing that can be said is that, I have to thank Robert and Brett for running, I think, one of the greatest seasons in our community's history. I mean, what a fine season, folks, ain't it? Look, it has been the honor of a lifetime to run for president, and an even greater honor to win. And I thank the community for this this deep honor. I'm getting a lot of PMs. They're blown up, so I think I'll just be taking the night to
Now you know how it is to be a mod with the elections.
What?
Now you know how it is to be a member of the election commission every time a ballot is open.
Oh, I can understand. Yeah. No, there's nothing quite like it. And, it's what makes such a great community out of these group of folk. So, there's much to say, Robert. I don't know if you're listening, but look, man, you ran one of the finest races I could have ever asked for. You were one of the best opponents I could have asked for. I will certainly admit you got me in some of those debates. But I think together we presented the people of MEC with a very, very fine season, and I'm glad we could come together to do that. And so now the path is set, and I'm very excited to get to work as soon as tomorrow begins, and I'll start meeting with folks and writing up those bills we're going to be presenting during our administration, our tax cuts, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah. I have nothing more to say.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. President-elect.
Thank you, Mr.
In the terms of everything, and we'll take our pace with the inauguration. That's for sure. In the terms of results certification, that's going to happen tomorrow. So we would like everyone in the mod team would like to wish everyone a pleasant night, a pleasant rest of the day, a pleasant sleep, and do whatever you want to do. But tomorrow we're going to make it all official, certified. The winners. These are the results. There will be no changes, because there can't be, nor should there be. But that's basically it. So everyone is taking a big break now until tomorrow, and we'll see tomorrow. Everything will be certified, and we could start with all the official things that's important to point out. We would like to say hi to our favorite corn cracker who's camping, and yeah, congratulations to everyone who won. We shall see. We shall see. After three incumbent seasons of Democrats, a Republican has won. A darling of the right is going to the White House. Thank you, and well, good night.
Good night, folks.
That
It's
was
been an honor to hold presidency. Yeah.
that was really
We're
wild.
still live, I think, but this is
Mhm.
basically it.
We're just released.
It's done. Thank
Mhm.
you, and that's it.
That's pretty wild, guys. I think I'm gonna go eat some ice cream. Have a nice day, guys, or night, or have a nice evening. One of those two. Have a good day.
All right. I'm very happy for Roman and Ricky. Very happy for both of them. Good night, folks.